if we try to telnet from, or telnet into 192.168.1.1, here what we can do is source that traffic via the source interface. So we want to source this from, so let's just source it from the 20 network first and see what happens. Telnet from the source interface of which on router 0, which is loopback 1, if we scroll back up here in our config, you can see here under loopback 1 we gave it the 20 network. So what we're going to do is telnet to router 1 via the source interface of loopback 1 on our router, which is specifying the 20 network. Okay, so what you can see here is it says here connection refused by remote host. So if we go to router 1, you can see here that we're getting we're logging some messages saying that we've denied denied traffic from the source of 192.168.20.1 via right here our access list, which is ACL 1. We can also verify this if we do a show access list. You can see here now that we have a match under our sequence 20 statement, which is denying the 192.168.20.0 network. So let's go over here and do that again. We'll just try to do a couple. And go back to router 1, do a show access list again. Now you can see here that we've denied 6 times the we've denied it 6 times. We got 6 matches on that sequence of the ACL. So now let's go over to router 0. What we'll do is we'll telnet again. We're going to try to telnet to router 1. Under here we're going to do a source interface of loopback 0, which, if you can remember up here, our loopback 0 interface on router 0 is from the 10 network. And based on the ACL on router 1, we are permitting the 10 network from telnetting into our router. So we should see this a match come up here when we try to telnet. We'll go back to router 0 and telnet in, and you can see here now that we were successful because we get the command prompt for router 1. If you go back to router 1, you can see here that we have a another log message here saying the access list 1 has permitted the 10 packet from the 10 network. And we can verify this by doing a show access list. And you can see here now that we have permitted traffic from the 10 network. Again, let's go ahead and telnet again over to router 1. You can see here now we're in router 1. Go ahead and exit out of there. And you can see here on router 1, you can see here now that we have 4 matches with the 10 network. So that's how you would filter your VTY lines on your router using a standard ACL. Now what we can also do here, say we just telnet over 192.168.1.1. Now what do you think is going to happen here? Well, if we look here in our ACL, we don't have anything. If we were to just telnet over to there right now, what it's going to use is our outgoing interface to router 1 as the source of the telnet traffic. So that source is 172.16.1.1, which you can see here is the outgoing interface to router 1. So when I telnet, it's going to source that traffic from this IP address 172.16.1.1. Now if we look at the logic here in our standard ACL, we don't have anything matching 172.16.1.1. So what we should see here is the deny any now should see a match. You should see some packets match that sequence. So we go back to router 0 and try to telnet to 192.168.1.1, which is router 1. See here that we have connection refused by remote host. So if we go back to router 1, you can see here that our access list has indeed denied this packet from the source of 172.16.1.1, which is again what we said would be the source of this telnet traffic. You can verify that again if we do a show access lists, and you can see now here under sequence 30 I have a match. Again, if I try it again just a couple times just to verify that it's working, try to telnet several times. Now if I go back to router 1, you can see here now that our matches are incrementing on the deny any access control list statement. So again, this is how you would implement security, on your your VTY lines, to permit or deny telnet traffic from, specific source IP addresses. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.